What's going on, everybody? Today I will be doing my first YouTube video, official YouTube video on life after dental school. What you should be thinking about, how to prepare, just whatever I remember. I'm not really a straight up planning kind of guy. I kind of do my freestyling here. So talk to you, I got a small outline right here, so you'll see me peeking over here once in a while. Talk to you guys about what my mistakes were so that you guys can learn from my mistakes. So I graduated in December of 2019, so it hasn't been that long. It's April, end of April now, so it's been almost 5 months already. Yet I've practiced dentistry in the clinics for 3 days. So I'll share that story as well a little later on. So after graduating in December, the first thing I did was make sure I'm on top of my licensure exam. I'm out in California, so I wanted to apply early. I had my application set up in November, ready to go. Submitted it the day I got my diploma from the school, which also took a while. It was like mid-January, I think. Sent that in after 2 weeks because, like anything, government organizations are slow to respond. Same thing with California's dental whatever board that they have here. Some of my classmates actually got it pretty early. I think it really depends on who you're assigned to. There's always a representative in the dental board who works with you, and like all things, luck plays into it a little bit. If you get like someone that works fast, they'll get that thing done for you and send it to you. But unfortunately for me, I think I got somebody slower. So I sent in my application that I had prepared in November, and it turns out they came out with new paperwork end of December for 2020. So learn from my mistakes. Don't do it too early. Make sure you check that the paperwork is up to date when you're sending it in. Make sure they didn't change the paperwork. That's what happened to me. So what happened was they had to send me back a letter. They didn't even email me. They sent me back a letter saying, "Oh, your application's from back in the day." So what happens to me then? I have to resend my application to the dental school to Colorado. Ask for a favor from the admissions office to have them go get it signed off from the dean. Dean sends it back to admissions, and they would send it back to me, and so forth. So this actually happened twice. So you can see I lost about like 3-4 weeks because of that. All my fault though. So I take full responsibility, but I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. Make sure you check every single thing. Make sure all your paperwork is in order, easy to read for them, so that you don't have to go through what I went through. That was very frustrating for me. So don't do that. So work application process was something that I also started very early. While I was in school, I had contacted several employers, several places, because I'm coming back to Southern California. I was looking at Southern California. My advice is to start early. Apply to a lot. In California, the job market is pretty saturated, and to be honest, it was not easy finding a place that I wanted to work. Looking at not just make sure obviously you have to look at the pay structure, look at their daily guarantee, their bonus, type of patients they see. Will I have my own patients? What are the benefits of working there? Where is the location? Location was key for me. I live in a suburban area, not a big city, and so the job market is a little more limited, I think. There's more corporate offices here. Private offices are often smaller, so they're not really hiring that much. I think it should be like that in most places. Corporate offices offer higher daily guarantees, in my opinion. Those are the things you should be thinking about. Corporate versus private. I prefer private. If I had to choose one, I would work in a private that pays well, has good benefits, has good patient flow, but that's usually not the case, and it's hard to come by, and unless you have some hookups and you knew somebody from before. I found it difficult to find a perfect private practice job. So as some of you guys know, my dad is a dentist, and I had a small I planned to work 1 or 2 days in his office, so clinically. So I was looking for another part-time job, another 4-day a week, which is also hard to find. And so, but I got lucky. I found a place that took me. They're not a full-on big corporate office, but it was like in the middle ground. They were a privately owned multi-practice. So I thought that was the best for me. The pay was a pretty high daily guarantee. I knew that they were giving me a good influx of patients. I would be responsible for the whole patient. They're not, in some cases the owner dentist might kind of steal your patients, basically do all the high production patients or production procedures and give you the fillings and crowns, and if you're lucky, crowns. So I definitely didn't want to go a place like that. That's what I would advise you to ask if you own your own patients, if you're responsible for each patient, everything, all the treatments. Those are the things you should be asking. I would suggest the perfect scenario for me was to go to a private or a multi-practice private office, because that's what I personally want to do in the future. So it would be good learning experience for me to see the whole system, how they work. So I chose to work here. I don't want to reveal too much about the location and whatnot, but I wanted to go somewhere that pays a reasonable amount of minimum guarantee, daily guarantee, on top of bonuses. And I would have my own patients, good patient flow, because sometimes you're going to an office that only promises you a production, but they don't provide you with enough patients. So you're sitting there not producing, which means you're not making any money. So that's the reason why you have to kind of look at the daily guarantee. If not, you really have to ask them, how much patients can you guarantee me, or how many patients can you provide for me? That's big. So that's just a quick summary of my work application process and the licensure. But I also got malpractice insurance, because that's another thing. When you're going to work, you need to ask if they provide any type of insurance. There are offices that provide that malpractice insurance for you. Mine does not. First year as a new dentist, malpractice is really cheap. Make sure you take advantage of all the new dentist discounts. There's many, in continued education especially. Malpractice insurance first year from MedPro for me, almost free. I think it's like $20. Mention the ASDA discount, ASDA, American Dental Student Association. I almost forgot what they're called, but that's important. Get that discount. It's very cheap. MedPro is the largest malpractice insurance company, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, in the US. So yeah, I'm not paid by these insurance companies. If you're an insurance company watching this, hit me up. Licensure. So licensure was a learning experience. Be organized, and another thing you need to be thinking about, DEA number. Apply to that fast, because you need your DEA number. DEA stands for Drug Enforcement Administration from the U.S. Department of Justice. You saw me peeking over there. That's what it's called. I wanted to make sure that I know what I'm talking about in terms of this. You need to apply for that so that you can start prescribing things. Make sure you apply for the NPI number. NPI number stands for National Provider Identification. It's a number that identifies you for all healthcare workers in the US. So make sure you get that. So those are the quick things that I think you need to think about and plan out when you are in process of applying for the licensure exam and after dental school.